Back of the Bus Podcast coming to you with another comic book review. Today we've got Immortal X-Men number 11, or excuse me, number 12. I can't count. Number 12, Colossus, Kitty Pryde on the front. My boy Theo says a little bit of false advertisement. I think so too, but you know, that's more of a comic book common practice, to be honest with you. At least you know that those two characters will be involved in the plot. Probably, most likely. Sometimes not. Sometimes not. But the interesting thing about where Immortal X-Men picks up is because it seemed like in 11, X-Men Red and Immortal X-Men were kind of tied together. They kind of ran sequentially. And then in this issue, they both kind of branched out into their own arena, but it's part of the same theme that's happening. Like, there are cracks within Krakoa. There are also people on Krakoa's side that are low-key ushering this thing towards falling. And I kept trying to rack my brain when they first announced Fall of X. I was like, well, how's it going to happen? Like, is it finally going to be Orcus? Is it going to be Nimrod? Like, what? Because they seemingly got off the whole Nimrod thing, which was supposed to be the biggest threat to Mutant Con. And they just kind of left that alone after Inferno. I'm starting to see now it's going to be internal. It's going to be internal politics. It's kind of the age-old story about empires, right? It doesn't always have to be an outside force that topples it. It could crumble from the inside. The main tie-in that I found from this book was from, I think it was X-Force. This whole thing with Peter Rasputin, aka Colossus, being basically controlled by a mutant author, right? Who's able to write the actions of Colossus's life by putting it in a novel, right? He's you know, for lack of a better term, he's the scribe or the prophet of Colossus's life right now, and he's doing so at the behest of Peter's brother, Mikhail, right? Now that was a thread from X-Force that I got left alone a long time ago. Then they brought it back up in the middle, maybe in the middle issues of X-Force for a little bit, and then it disappeared again. And here we are with it paying off. Shaw and Colossus had a secret meeting the night before a big council meeting, right? We are still at that stage where all the telepaths can't be trusted, so we're taking the most powerful mutants in the room off the board all the time when we're discussing the most important shit. I do not know if this was the best course of action from your girl. Again, hate to blame her, but that's who it was her decision, right? Let's go ahead and take the most powerful mutants that we have at our disposal, the telepaths, and we will treat them like toddlers. I got to leave the room when we talk about important stuff. You're only on the council for show, so it doesn't cause a panic, right? Like, this is opening them up to this type of predatory behavior. Don't think this is what Eric meant, Storm, Aurora. I don't think this is what he meant.
You know what I mean? It's almost like moves are being made. They're made wide out in the open, but it requires a person to be distracted first. Because what sense does it make to remove all of the telepaths off the Quiet Council? That's exactly what you did. You took every last one of them off. So anybody can come in and make a play, and you're not able to see it coming. Then we see another move that was made later on in the book, and it was like, well, damn, that would look curious to anybody on the outside looking in, but we would be on the outside looking in. She's inside and she's distracted. So I don't think she would make that move because the moves that are being made are way too obvious for her not to see them. And you really can't tell me Aurora that damn dumb. Like, you could, but like, as you see, all the telepaths, that's too convenient.
So Shaw brings a motion right after the telepaths are dismissed about filling whose seat was it? Oh, Sinister seat. Of course, yeah. Who else? It was Sinister seat that they're trying to fill, right? So he moves to fill it immediately, presents a candidate, and your boy Colossus seconds it and agrees. Seconds the motion. So red flag number 1, right? If you think back to the beginning of this series with Immortal X-Men, the very first issue of Immortal X-Men was Selene politicking to get on to the Quiet Council to take over Eric's seat. Now, 12 issues later, here we are. Shaw, who at the time was being neutered by Kitty Pryde, Storm, and Emma Frost, and at the same time planting his seeds with Mother Perilous, is now reaping his harvest. He's able to cash in his chips. He talked with Colossus the night before. He's working with Mother Righteous, and now he has another ally with Selene, right? Shaw has been playing the long game, and I always knew that something would come of this. My problem is that the continuing theme is that the downfall of Krakoa is going to be Krakoans. It's not Orcus, it's not Xeno, it's not Nimrod. It's mutants.
But let's look at it like this. I can respect what Charles Xavier and Eric wanted to do. I can. But there are some people in the world who they do things for a pure reason, and then there are some people that do things for selfish reasons, right? So you go to Apocalypse, you offer him the olive branch. Okay, cool. Well, Apocalypse is not Sinister. Yeah, we could both say they villains, but that's not the same villain. That's not. Right. Apocalypse is more Eric than he is Sinister. Shaw is more sinister. Is more sinister than Apocalypse. Okay, well, why did you even invite them to Krakoa? And if the logic behind inviting them to Krakoa was so that you could have a closer eye on them, okay, cool, I'm with that. Why did you put them into a position of power? Because those two individuals have been nothing but selfish the entire time they've been in comics. So this was a dumb behind move, as you said, made by Krakoa. First of all, you should have never let him get that damn close, but you did.
Yeah.
You did. And then what does Aurora do? Y'all don't notice Colossus acting off? Like, you mean the
Nobody has. Again, maybe like 5 issues ago, maybe it wasn't that far. Maybe 3 or 4 issues ago, when we were tying up the whole Xeno guy with the peacock tattoo arc in X-Force, Domino remembers telling Colossus to give me my memories. You remember that, but then you never follow back up with Colossus and find out why your memory's been wiped?
Watch this. Do you know what Peter is at the end of the day? He's an X-Man. He's a pacifist. Yeah. He's a poet. That dude ain't growing his hair out like that. So at what point in time did y'all not know this dude whole personality changed to the point? And true enough, Nightcrawler went through his thing with the Beast. That's another dude that they just let him run buck ass wild on Krakoa.
His girlfriend been missing for months. He killed her like in issue 5 of X-Force. She has been missing for a long time. She must not have no friends or no family or nobody who gave a damn about her except for Peter.
Nobody does. Nobody. But watch this. We can say the same thing about Peter. Don't nobody give a damn about Peter. Where's his sister at?
Hey, I don't think I've seen Ileana and Peter interact at all.
Watch this. We know for a fact that Peter and Mikhail don't get along. That's like he would kill for her. Where's she at? Like, that's the brother-sister link that's close to a Shuri T'Challa thing. She ain't finished. She would have noticed something acting off with her brother. It's kind of, to me, it's like to read this book and you said it was gonna be cumbersome. It's like, really, bro? So I don't even want to know that you're a prisoner in your own damn mind, but you literally a prisoner in your own damn mind, and you trying your damnedest to communicate to people, and nobody is your friend enough to notice you ain't you. That's a damn shame.
It's interesting that you're saying that, because he is literally hoping and pleading every time he utters some type of nonsense to try to keep this charade going. He's like, man, somebody notice. Somebody notice. Please, somebody get it. That don't even sound like me. Please, help me.
And then I got questions. For you to be Colossus, how did you wind up in this situation? Like, bro, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of watching you be either, oh, I'm over here painting something, or I'm over here depressed about how the world treating mutants and everything like that, or you being somebody damn lackey. Can I get you to the point where you know what? You good with who you are as a person, and you just putting hands on anybody that want to smoke.
So, if I'm not mistaken, was it X-Force or Marauders? It might have been one of the early issues of Marauders. And one of the first missions that Kitty Pryde and them, when she still had Storm on the team and Iceman and all them, one of the first missions they did was to go pick up Peter and all of these mutant refugees in Russia. They fought the Russians in those mech suits. And he was tore up. He was ripped, like his metal was ripped open. I was like, man, he can't even get back tangible because that's just gonna be flesh. He got to stay metal. But yeah, he was messed up, right? And they had to go in there and save him and get the refugees out. Ever since that point, he had the thing going on with the writer. So it was at that point that he got caught up in Russia trying to get out and come to Krakoa, that they implanted whatever they needed for the writer to be controlling his life.
Him to get right. Every time he go run up on somebody, he get his head handed to him. I read the issue when the series, the Morlock series, and everything like that. My dog couldn't even turn back human again because he had been ripped open. And then here come Eric, the dude who literally sometime down the road would do what he did to Logan. Eric got the healing, only for the dude to, well, he healed me, but I can't turn human again. Only for, I think it was Emma that had to help him be able to deal with that stuff, or it might have been the mutant healer or whatever. But he ain't been that dude. Like you, Colossus. You always get your head handed to you by Juggernaut. You know, like the Thing got more. I don't think the Thing is as strong as Colossus is, and the Thing got more W's under his belt than Colossus.
Yeah.
Like, I need that to change. I'm just, while we talking.
Colossus is just Jim Strong. He don't got that grown man strength. He Jim Strong.
He's simple-minded. That's the thing that's getting me. It's like
He is very simple. He's always been a simple-minded character, though.
But you didn't got the same type of training that Banshee did. You're not even as strong-willed as John Proudstar, who just came back. Like, y'all all came on the same crew, and it's like, as you just said, you just Jim Strong. You ain't learned how to fight, which is crazy because you got Logan and Aurora right there. So you ain't learned not one decent hand-to-hand fighting style. Everybody else seems to be able to defeat, mutants going up in their brain. We just literally watched Aurora reject Charles trying to read her brain and everything like that. Bro, what you got going on?
Yeah, now that's a good question. Because they were all trained in that red room. They was all trained in there. And they were all trained to rebuff, psychic attacks. Now, maybe if we being fair, I did just get done saying that Colossus has always kind of been a simple character. Not that he's dumb or dopey, but intelligence isn't his strong suit, I guess. It's not one of the things that's been highlighted for him the most. So just maybe he's not as good at rebuffing psychic attacks as everybody else, or certainly as Storm.
This low-key me and you looking at the writers and saying, stop using him as a plot point, as a plot device.
Oh no, they absolutely using him as a plot point. Because he's not doing shit else. He ain't doing nothing else.
We see you. We see you, and we hope that you see us see you constantly using this dude as a plot device. Y'all, he ain't Colossus. That ain't y'all need to change his name till y'all fix that. Like, there's nothing mighty impressive about this dude. It ain't. He just call him Tinkerbell. And I mean that because he's shiny. I don't mean that for no other reason. I mean that because he's shiny, because that's it. That's the only purpose his metal serves, is just for him to look shiny. That's it.
The debate ensues. They're starting to take votes. They're trying to move along. Destiny holds the phone. I've already read Shaw's mind. He's working with Orcus. Or not read his mind, but I've read the future. He's working with Orcus. So now, when she says that, I know something's off because he all too confident. He didn't get nervous. He ain't try to kill nobody. He ain't try to run. He went, hey man, check me out. Go ahead, do what you gotta do. I was like, nah, something off. Something off. You way too confident. Because I know Destiny don't just see things out of nowhere. That is a possibility. or it's going to happen at some point. All right. But somehow, not only is he able to rebuff all the rest of the council, but he clears a psychic scan from Rasputin. So now, did he clear the psychic scan, or did they somehow convince Rasputin to be in on it? Because you know she's loyal to she's loyal to Mother Perilous or Mother Righteous.
You know what? I don't know. We both gonna find out at the same. Well, if we read the comic book at the same time, we're gonna both. But we're not gonna find out today.
Same week. We're gonna find out the same week.
Yeah, because I don't know. I'm with you though. Something definitely seem off.
I think because if anybody working with Orcus for sure is Shaw, right? Colossus may be working with Orcus just through affiliation, with Russia and Mikhail. I think his focus is a little bit more nationalist than globalist and trying to stop the mutants from growing. He just wants to keep Russia sovereign and help them keep their own mutants, for power.
Well, Russia going through some stuff right now.
Oh, yeah. They could use a few mutants, huh? They could use a few mutants. So anyways, he clears the psychic check from Rasputin. Colossus informs the council that they have more business to attend to. Kate seems to be the only one that is, actually putting up a fight with any of this, because once again, Storm is MIA, Sinister Seat is unfilled, and all of the telepaths are gone. So it's Kitty Pryde, Mystique, and Destiny just played their best card and lost.
He don't even talk like this. Like I read Colossus dialogue. Colossus don't even talk like. Do you know Colossus uses broken English with Russian in it every now and then? Not one time. I ain't heard that dude say "yet" not one time. That's how Colossus talk. Like
listen to his rationale, right? Like, I became a liaison to X-Force to prevent further abuses of their power. Do you think my anger was limited to them? Iceland could be dead thanks to you, Destiny. Kate, you are now closer to Emma than me. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? What are you talking about?
First of all, he used the word liaison. And while I do not question Colossus' intelligence, his how can I put it? The number of times he's used the word liaison in his lifetime, I would ask him to spell it. I don't believe he could, because he don't talk like it. It's almost like a joke in a joke. Just like we said that character don't talk like that, them people don't talk like that, when that writer was writing them like that, that's us as readers. The characters should know in this book that Colossus don't talk like that. Peter don't talk like that. Peter don't.
No, they should know. They should know. Especially because of what he's about to say and what he's proposing. Peter wants to tell the world. Like, I thought Storm was bad by making everybody, smack their hands 2 times and actually mean it about the future that never was. Peter wants to tell the entire world about it.
My dog want to pull a Black Widow.
Black Widow, he wants to be, what's dude's name that left the NSA with all that information and fled to Russia? Snowden. He trying to be Snowden. He trying to be Julian Assange. You know what I'm saying?
My dog put it all out there on Front Street. Hey, look here, y'all. We've been on some stuff.
I definitely think this was a Snowden reference. The whole we gotta tell them, and it being a Russian guy obviously is a little ironic. But in any case, what now let's think about the prospects that we got going on here, right? We got Orcus getting a little bit deeper into the gate technology by way of horticulture and X-Men. We've got Genesis on her way back to Araco and most likely about to start a civil war. And oh, by the way, on top of all of that, Colossus wants to announce to the world that there was an alternate future in which we subjugated all the humans and didn't just stop there. We spread across multiple galaxies doing that. Y'all gonna keep taking
And
our drugs? We good?
that's gonna, that's gonna do what exactly?
Cause a panic and aggression against mutants once again. Once again, Hope gets wind of it. She cheats, starts reading the minds, and starts seeing what's going on there. And as she's making her way back into the council room, I believe controlled by Mother Perilous here,
Mm-hmm.
Rasputin engages with Hope. I think that's kind of what's going on here. I think she's kind of controlling Rasputin, which explains why Shaw cleared the psychic scan earlier from Rasputin. Or it would explain it if that's actually what's going on here. Because, I mean, think about it. Rasputin is really just like a fancy android. She's like a fancy mutant android. She's as much technology as she is mutant, I feel like, or sentient.
A clone, but she nice with it though. She nice with it.
Yeah.
She nice with it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Emma decides that she doesn't want to be left out. She's going to check in as well. But then Charles stops her. Hey, Charles, I don't have time for your woe is me bullshit. I really don't. Get back on your horse, man. Lead these guys. Get back on your horse, please. I'm not very fond of depressed Charles.
You know what?
I don't think Eric would be either.
If we had to get him tore down to get him back to the Charles Xavier that I remember from back in the day, I'm in it because he ain't being arrogant. Now, in this type of battle with him and Emma, this would have been the battle that they had back in the day when he was at his school and she was at her school for the same reason. You know what I'm saying? Ideological differences. Thank you. Appreciate that. Good looking. See that what I'm talking about right there. So he's fighting, he's standing on the side of honor, like, hey, I messed up. I gotta own it. Then I try Aurora on top of it. Like hubris, I done did too much of it. Let me sit back. Emma has never been that person to really care about this. She's like, nah, I hear what you're saying, but I'm not gonna be honorable to the extent of self-sacrifice.
Yeah, that's what man, Charles. You tripping?
Yeah, that's what Charles' problem used to be back in the day. And then he started hanging around Eric, and I guess he didn't hang around Eric way too damn much. You know, Eric got enough of Charles in him. Charles got too much Eric in him from back in the day. So it's good to see them fight the way they are. Because even with Emma doing the fighting the way she is, it's not for a bad thing. It's just who Emma is at the end of the day.
Sure. Exodus is sitting there and listening to all this happen and says, well, I just don't know what I could possibly do. But I know what someone else can do. So Storm hops in. She interrupts the proceedings. She engages with Peter right away. Another side note for another red flag. I think we're on red flag 3 now. They can definitely hear the battle going on outside between Rasputin and Hope, and they keep moving forward with the vote. What?
That's how you stay focused. Yeah.
The only way this gets over is if half the room is already dirty.
Hey, you got to be able to maintain focus and stay calm. You got to stay calm in the midst of battle. That's what Peter doing. He's staying calm in the midst of battle. Salute. We need that vote. What's going on outside is outside. We inside though. We need that vote.
Yeah. A move we break while we consider this. Calm down and return to debate it. My position is just. I am happy to convince you of that. So I think the only thing that stopped this motion from going through and releasing that information to the world was the fact that Storm was here. I think she held it off enough to make them reconsider. So more craziness to ensue, right? We've turned into Game of Thrones. This is Game of Thrones X season. Sure. Season X. Because here we are with Mystique, and she has the secret recording that Mother Perilous left for her. Right before she pulls it out, though, Pause. Irene has a vision. Irene has a vision. She has a vision of Mystique killing her, which is pretty prophetic. If I saw the future, I would probably take that as a warning. I would take that as a, sign, maybe. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Take it away.
Well, I just want to point out the fact to our viewers that back in the day, men actually used to be able to talk to each other, as men, and not have to remind each other that,
It's just funny. I think it's funny. It's funny. No,
it is.
degrading
Gotcha.
or any type of putting down of the LGBT community. I really don't even think about that stuff when I say it, but other than the fact that it's funny that I'm, maligning
That you gotta
say it. Yeah. But anyways, right? So we've got this tape recorder with Mystique, and it is the recording that Irene left for Sinister. Hey, basically, I helped all of this shit go on because this is the only way that Raven is still alive. So if we get back, just reach out to me and I'll help you so we can do this and I can keep Raven.
Basically, she was saying, "Hey, holler at a player if you see him in the street."
Yeah, no, for sure. So she confronts her about it, and obviously my thoughts on how this is going to play out is almost exactly how it went. Yo, look, you can't keep me caged like that. The fact that you would even do that means you don't really know me, but I guess you love me, so we'll work it out. It's basically how I envisioned that going. But then, just how your girl Rasputin was controlled by Mother Perilous, Mystique is as well. Now, does Mystique? I know she has shape-shifting powers in terms of changing.
I don't know.
Other human beings.
Don't listen. Don't ask
when was she able to body morph? Where did that come from? Is that a common thing for Mystique?
See, you just want to put that in the audio. I said, don't ask me that.
No, I'm just saying you can't. She can turn her arm into a sword. When she started doing
I'm gonna help the writers out. So remember when Laura came back from the egg? Remember when she came back from the children of the? You remember that? Remember that? Yep. When they put it back together, they didn't have it with just her claws made out of adamantium. They made it where all her bones made out of adamantium. Remember that? So this me finna throw the writers a mulligan. When Mystique has died,
she got upgrades.
They brought her. Yeah, she got upgrades. Hey.
I can take that. That makes sense. I'll take that. I'll take
it. Because I can't explain it.
So, some pretty traumatic scenes here, man. I honestly feel like I'm looking at the Red Wedding or something like that. Stabs Irene right through the chest. She's bleeding out. She dies, obviously. Now she's gonna get resurrected, but because she's been resurrected by Hope, and everybody who's been resurrected by Hope is under suspicion of having the Sinister gene. It's getting very political, right? This is getting very political. Everybody's under suspicion of having the Sinister gene. So now Destiny can't even be on the damn council. Can't even be on the council. So now, guess who picks up that third vote that's lingering out there? Guess who picks it up? It's your boy Colossus. Honestly, maybe a hot take. I don't know how classic X-Men fans or classic Colossus fans will take it. I'm gonna give it anyway. I think this would be even better if Colossus wasn't being controlled and was doing this out of loyalty to Mikhail somehow, or like came to some understanding that working with Mikhail was somehow more beneficial to him, or he had some beef with the X-Men for some reason with Krakoa. This would play a little bit better if he wasn't being controlled. Like if Colossus, just how we've been talking about him, the big dopey pacifist, if he rebuffs that to the point of playing it up so that he could infiltrate all the way up to the highest levels on Krakoa. Man.
That would be.
I mean, I
That would
guess
be
it's kind of happening with the writer. The writer is putting all of this together, but he cheating because everything he write come to pass.
right. It's one of those things where it's much needed character development for Colossus. Because I think we've seen Roberto da Costa. We didn't talk about it in the last video. He even got a Fisher. He even got a nickname right now. The Fisher King call him Beto. Like that's what they call you in the street now, Beto. Okay, all right. You know, Colossus has not had that character development. Like in his own books, Roberto has gotten character developments outside the X-Men books. And that character development has carried back over to once he reemerged in the X-Men books. We're still waiting. To me, in my opinion, we're waiting on some well overdue character development with Colossus. This just makes him seem like, if I had to look at it, let's look at it like this. Banshee got his muffin cap pulled back. Aurora had damn near her whole planet decimated. Nightcrawler, what happened to him was just wrong. Logan, well, hell, what happened to him is just wrong. Then you look at what's going on with Peter. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that whole team is getting effed over right now. That whole team from Giant Size X-Men, I'm not the question, so I don't want people to think I'm out here on a conspiracy theory. But you reading more X-Men titles than I am right now, I think even you could go back and be like, you know what, he kind of got a point.
Oh no, for sure. I don't think everybody's getting it just due. I will give them a little bit of bail and say that they've got a lot of characters right now. They got a lot of characters. They got a lot of titles. Now that part of it is on them. You know, that you're oversaturating the office. But as it stands, right?
To your point,
you got everybody from Nightcrawler all the way to Xavier to write and give its own particular arc. Some of that is going to be a little bit wishy-washy if you're writing that many.
Right. So to your point, yes, it would be better, because I said all that to say this. It would be better if Colossus was doing it. It'd be hard to believe, but at least then we would see, okay, now there's some motivation. Now he's mad at the X-Men. He's mad at his teammates and you would have given us some underlying backstory to it and everything like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Something that I noticed really quickly here when they were taking these votes initially. First of all, shout out to Brian Edward Hill. I'm picking this one up pronto.
What is that? What is that?
Plate number 1, Brian Edward Hill. Coming out in
July.
Yeah.
We
coming through. Stay tuned. The thing that was very interesting to me at the end of this was that, did you hear Krakoa vote?
No.
Did you hear Krakoa's mouthpiece vote?
I never saw Douglas, and I looked at it when they was in the room. I was like, "Where's Doug?"
Didn't hear Krakoa vote. Didn't hear nothing from Douglas. How you going to account for that? Now, Dougie Boy, Doug Ramsey, who has literally been like, unless he's in New Mutants or the book with Nightcrawler, because I'm not reading either one of those. Unless he's in those a lot, I don't know where the hell he's been. He disappeared after Inferno for me. He hasn't been in any book that I'm reading.
Maybe he's on a much needed, much overdue honeymoon.
With him and Bay the Blood Moon.
Because we really don't get enough of her at all. But as much as they push that up, we should never see Krakoa without Doug and never see Doug without her. Like, she's literally right there.
Yeah.
Like, Doug is married to an Omega class mutant. Let's put that into perspective for a second. I don't want to keep doing this part. It's okay for people to have kids outside of Reed and Sue. It is. It's okay. It's all right. It is all right. It's okay for other people to be in relationships besides Reed and Sue. It is. It is okay. And it's okay for you to show them relationships. It is. It is. But yeah, where they at? Because I think the last we saw of him, he was coming, basically letting Destiny and Mystique know however you want to do it ain't gonna play out right.
Right.
Ain't that the last time we seen him?
I believe so.
Last
Yeah,
I
yeah.
seen him.
At in the Inferno event. Yep. That was the last time I've seen him. Now again, I'm not reading New Mutants and I'm not reading Excalibur or whatever the hell that shit's called now. Or what's the Cy Spurrier one with Nightcrawler and Legion and all that book, Knights of X. Those are the 3 X titles I'm not reading. If he popped up in anything else, I must have missed it. But parting thoughts on Immortal X-Men, aka House of X, or not House of X. That was already a comic book title. Game of Thrones, House of X.
I just need to see my dog do better. I just need to see my dog do better. And I guess that's one of them things where it come from having seen Colossus. There are too many storylines, be the running punchline. Like when he first made his appearance, Magneto was throwing that dude back and forth against the wall. And I was like, why would you even run up on the master of magnetism when your body's
same thing I say to Wolverine every time he try to fight Magneto. Every time I just be looking at him like, bruh, you don't never have another plan. You just swear you gonna get to him running, teeth out, claws protracted. You just know you gonna get to him.
And that's why when Magneto finally snatched that metal up out of him, I was like, you been had that one coming for a long time. Like it's hard. I feel big. No, I did. Like I was like, you've been running up on this dude for a long time. He been stalling you, because Eric would always tell him, it's nothing to do you. If I really want to hurt you,
really wanted to.
He would tell all the X-Men, like, I really don't want to hurt y'all. Like, if I really wanted to hurt y'all, I could. So when but no, I need Peter, man. Peter need to tighten up. Like, whatever fall out of this, I just need him to tighten up.
Great.
You know what he is? And I can't even believe I'm getting ready to say it, but he truly does fit it. Piotr Rasputin is a organic steel mutant synth.
Well, with that, you give us your thoughts on the book, Immortal X-Men number 12. Put it in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back to us next week. We'll have some more comic book content for you. Appreciate it, Theo.